spin the wheel again. Familiar pathways lead through time, all the same yet not the same, ever onward through the way. On these spirals of change, what we reap is what we sow. What we learn is how we grow, ever reaching towards the light. Journey round the stars and sun, seasons flowing one by one. Time and space shape everything. Patterns and cycles and forms repeating. Swirls and whirls of life untamed, ever unfurling and evolving. Yet the beauty of it all remains the same, yet different. Caterpillars in the garden, metamorph to butterflies, flitting in the bright moonlight. World turns and night becomes the day. As they dance the spirals of change, repeating. Swirls and whirls of life untamed, ever unfurling and evolving. Yet the beauty of it all remains the same, yet different. What we reap is what we sow. What we learn is how we grow, ever reaching towards the light. Journey round the stars and sun, seasons flowing one by one. Time and space shape everything. On these spirals of change.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Who Am I from the International Pagan Music Association. Today we have Edna MerenKing, singer and songwriter. And the song you just heard was Spirals of Change. So welcome, Meren, and so glad to have you on the show this time.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely. I met you. It's been a while. We were talking before the interview, but it's been a while since we have seen each other. But you're one of the few artists that I've been able to meet in person, and that's one of the best things that that is really good about the awards ceremony, is that we can all get together and we can all, put faces to names, that sort of thing, and really see and experience the energy of the concert, of the live concerts and stuff. So it's a real pleasure to have you, to be able to have witnessed seeing you play in public. So
yeah, the IPMA Awards is a great way for the musicians to come together. So I was glad to be a part of that in 22 and 23.
Right. So we'll get on to our interview question. So how did you get into music?
I've been musical most of my life. I was adopted when I was 7, and my adoptive parents found that I was musical, so I got music, I got piano lessons and flute lessons, and as time went on, dance lessons and all the other creative outlets for a creative child. And through high school and community college, I was involved with music. Then I took some time off for a while because the folks that I was part of their family, they didn't really encourage it. They were like, "Oh, that's a nice pastime, but you need to find real work." And it wasn't until I was in my late 50s that I was encouraged enough to go ahead and share my music with people, because I'd been learning cover songs, and I had been just indulging in music myself because I love it so much. And so it was about almost 5 years ago that I was encouraged to come out and share my music. So that's how I got into music.
Well, I'm glad you found that encouragement and that you're with us. Very glad and very blessed to have you with us. Now, for the song Spirals of Change, what was the inspiration for that song?
Well, in 2020, everything got shut down for everybody. There were no in-person circles or concerts or anything. And Circle Sanctuary out of Wisconsin started holding a monthly online full moon circle, and they would invite people to come and be a part of it. So I started doing that, sometimes just sharing what they had written on events and things like that, or sharing a song that was a cover that I felt was appropriate to the theme for the moon. But then I started writing my own stuff, and along came the Pagan Spirit Gathering in 2020 that was online. And because I had been a part of the circle, Selena reached out to me, Selena Fox, who is the head of Circle Sanctuary, one of them, came to me and said, "We have a festival. We're going to call it Spirals of Change because we're all having to do with lots of change. And would you write a song for it? Or do you have a song for it?" I said, "Well, I don't have a song for it right now, but I can write one." And so I went through the internet researching what are all of the spirals. And it is amazing how so many things are on the Fibonacci spiral. It's just repeated over and over and over again, as folks will see in the video. And it inspired me to write it, and I shared it with her, and she said, "Oh, yes, we need that." And so that is where Spirals of Change came from.
Oh, wonderful. That's a wonderful inspiration. Very good.
Yes. Yeah. I'm always happy to, I mean, I'm always happy to be a part of the circles, but I would say that probably 7 of the songs that are on my new album were inspired by being a part of the Full Moon Circle for Circle Sanctuary Online.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very grateful to them.
Mm-hmm. So, what's the best thing about being a pagan musician?
Oh, well, being able to be amongst people that I can freely sing these feelings that are inside of me out to and share them with folks who are of a like mind. And that is a real plus. Also, other pagan musicians are so willing to help and inspire and give feedback and teach, that being a pagan musician is so much more wonderful than being a secular musician. There isn't a whole lot of competition. There's a lot of appreciation of each other. So that is one of the best things about being a pagan musician.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Just the at the different award ceremony. I've been going to the award ceremony for a while now. I've been a part of international the IPMA. I've been a part of it for a while, and I do see how other people, they help and inspire, and there's not competition like that. There is, let's do this and let's go forward. I'll help you too. We'll help each other. If you succeed, I'm succeeding kind of attitude, because everyone is so individual and so unique of what they offer.
Mhm.
And I feel that too, in regular life. You can't compete against another person because the other person is not you.
Right.
It's not about that. It's more of that acknowledgement of meeting each other in that artist place and supporting each other for the gifts that they have to give to the public and to anyone that will listen.
Yes.
These stories, these, different stories and different experiences and things like that, such as you writing those songs from that one event,
Mhm.
that one place and time created different things. So that is, I see that. I agree with that. I agree with that big time. So on the other side of that, what is the most challenging about being about being a pagan musician?
Trying to share my songs in a secular way, in a secular venue. I have started recently going out to open mics here in my local town, and I went to one a couple weeks ago, and I checked with the person that was holding it and hosting it and saying, look, I'd like to share several of my songs, but I refer the god and the goddess, and there's a lot of pagan themes in my music. And he said, don't worry about it. There's a lot of people here that are like that too. So chose, this was at the Muddy Lotus coffee shop here in Ocala. So that was really great. I know I can play there without having any pushback from people that would be like, how dare you say these things? But the hardest thing is going to be I've been invited to go to a couple of other open mics that are at bars, and that's fine. Uh, but my hardest part is trying to figure out which original song to sing that's not gonna upset people. So that's the hardest part about being a pagan musician, is being able to share my music with folks who are not pagan.
Right, I can see that. But sometimes planting a seed isn't that bad.
Mhm. Planting seeds is very good.
Oh, right. So, and saying that, how can the IPMA help you enhance your musical reality?
Well, y'all already have done a lot for me. I've been a member for the last 3 years, I think. And I was nominated in both 22 and 23 for Female Artist of the Year. And so that was very exciting. And being able to share that with folks, it was more like, oh, what is this IPMA Awards, and what's it for? Oh, it's like the Grammys. Oh, you're trying to get into the Grammys as a category? Heck, that's cool. So being able to be a part of that, and just that recognition helps as a musician. Um, and I'm trying to think, how can you all help me? Well, this interview is going to do a lot. I have had Melissa reach out to me a few times saying, hey, can you do this concert? Can you be a part of this festival? And unfortunately, I haven't been able to, because it's been too far away. Or because living in Florida, I'm at the farthest you could get away from anywhere else in the United States. So, forget going to the West Coast. I'm lucky to be able to make it to the East Coast places. But I'm sure that more stuff's going to come up in the future, and that IPMA will reach out to me more and say, hey, can you come here? Can you come there? And plus, the website is great. The awards, being able to share that every year is great. So just keep doing what you're doing, IPMA.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. I live on the East Coast, so I'm not far down south as you are, but that is like me. It's like I live on one side of the states, and getting to the other side is like, I don't know if I can do that.
Right? Right?
So I
Sometimes
totally
I'll be
understand.
like, oh, I need to make a trip. Let's go here. And then I start looking at the mileage and I'm like, maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes we have to work within time restraints and budget
Mhm.
restraints and those sort of things. So,
And especially budget restraints, the further we keep going and prices keep rising, so on and so forth.
exactly. Exactly. So, do you have a message that you would like to share with others?
If you have a passion in your life and you feel that it's the path that you're supposed to follow, don't let anybody else tell you it's not. Um, I think if I had had encouragement in my 30s and 40s and early 50s, I would have been creating my own music much earlier. However, as an older musician, I started when I was 59 and I'm 64 now. I have the wisdom and the experience to be able to take parts of life and parts of what I've been through in life and put them to music. And it almost always helps me. And sometimes it helps others. So I would say, whatever your passion is, whether it's art or music, poetry, dance, volunteering for humanitarian things, anything that you really feel enriches your soul and fills your heart, do it. Don't wait. Don't wait.
Hmm. Yeah, that's some of the things that when I look back on about I should have followed my passions and not listened. You know, we're younger, we can be misguided by other people who've had bad experiences and things like that. And sometimes we allow that to shape our future. Whereas if we would follow our passion and do what we want to do, we may not have fallen down that same path. It's that sort of thing. I understand that. I understand that. So, how can others find you and reach your music besides your page on IPMA website?
Well, I post all of my music to bandcamp.com. So that will be at MerenKing, MErenKing .bandcamp.com. And you will find my whole discography there with my newest album, Walking the Spiral, Songs from the Wheel of the Year. And that album has Spirals of Change is the very first song. And then I go through an intro on what the Sabbath is that I'm writing the song that the next song is for. So my year starts in Yule, at Yule, with the rebirth of the sun.
Mhm.
And so I speak a bit about that, and then you'll get Yule song. And then we'll speak a bit about Imbolc, and then you'll get that with Meadow Awakens. So you can find my music there. I'm also on YouTube under Meren Edna Marie King, and there are some videos there of my Christmas show, Yule show that I just did for online concert thing. I split it up into separate songs, but there's also stuff on there from, the last several years when I used to do, I called it Tuesday Morning Music with Meren, and I would share songs with folks, and sometimes they were covers and sometimes they were originals. And so those are up there as well. I am on Facebook under MerenKing. So come on by and say hi. And I'm also on SoundCloud where I share some of my music with links for downloading. So I think that's it. And then, of course, my music is distributed through DistroKid. So any streaming service has my music. So Apple Music, Spotify, um, a lot of others I can't remember right now, but streaming online. You can also hear me on The Cauldron, which is a part of Ancient Sisters, yes? Or is it?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Circle of
okay.
Ancient Sisters. Yes.
And also International Pagan Radio, which is another online radio station. So I'm getting out there. I'm getting out there. So, yeah, that's where you can find me.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, um, I want to thank you for your time.
Sure.
And to everyone, go find her music. You will be very happy you did. There's a lot of different songs. Again, it's like all of the different artists have their certain genre. I mean, well, it's the Pagan, but it's a just different vibe, each single one
Mhm.
of them. So go find Meren and support her work. So thank you so much, Meren, for this interview. I really appreciate your time,
Well,
and
thank you.
I look forward to seeing you in the future again.
I hope to see you again. I do. It was nice seeing you a couple years ago and now.
Right. All
All
right.
right.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Mhm.